Hi, friends. Hello, the world. Welcome back to this episode of Complaint Free Life. And with you, your host, Sawa Manua. A bit sleep deprived because I've been working on my group coaching program, a lab for transitioning humanitarians, and I will be launching it next week. So I'm super excited about it. And I've been working a lot on it. So I'm actually very happy that I'm working on it and sleep deprived. And this is probably the first time that I feel like I'm happy and don't mind about being sleep deprived. So if you notice me in a different tone or in a different face, that's what's happening. And I would love for you to come work with me in the lab for transitioning humanitarians so that we can get you transition to whatever you want to, whatever life you want to. Okay, the topic that I want to talk to you today is the topic of overwhelm. And I feel like I haven't really spoken about it in like on its own. Maybe I'm missing something, but anyway, so I'm gonna speak about it for sure from a different angle, even if I did speak before. So the topic of overwhelm, I think, is something that many of us struggle with, and it's something that we don't really maybe admit to. We don't really show this to anyone. We just have it within us, and we feel like we cannot really discuss it and show it because otherwise people will think that we don't really manage our time well, or we don't really have our things together, right? So that's why it's something that of a like a lingering inner suffering maybe for many people, and they don't really show to the outside. So if you are someone who's doing it because you feel like you're overwhelmed because of your family situation or because of your work or because you feel like you're going for promotion and you have lots of things going on, or you're wanting to transition, but at the same time you have other issues coming up and you don't really know how to handle it both, and you feel like ah, it's too much, right? So these are the situations. How can we have a grip on it, or how can we really handle it, or what can we really do about it? This is the topic that I want to talk about. So, oftentimes, whenever we are in overwhelm, this is obviously the feeling that we tend to experience, right? The feeling of, oh, this is something, or this is a lot, or I'm just exhausted, I can't handle it, or it's too much. This feeling that vibrates within our body, it's actually telling us a lot of things. And because we're so overwhelmed, we probably don't have time to even listen in to find out what that feeling is telling us, right? Because we're already in overwhelm, so we have no time, or we have no maybe energy capacity to listen and interpret what's actually going on. And what's actually going on is that our feeling of overwhelm is telling that we need to slow down. We need to do things that we want to and not do things we don't want to. And overwhelm might be also telling us that it's time to prioritize, it's time to choose one over the other, right? Overwhelm might be also telling us that we cannot keep doing at this pace the way we're doing it now. And the biggest message the overwhelm might be telling us is that you are putting yourself in the powerlessness situation and get yourself out of there. And whenever these messages are coming from our body, obviously our body is signaling to us that we don't want to do more, we don't want to handle more, or we don't want to be doing things that we don't want to be doing. Oftentimes, however, how we try to treat it in quotes or handle it is like we think that, okay, sleeping more and then getting back to doing the things that we keep doing, or we just think that this is how it is now, it's temporary and it will go away. And oftentimes it's not temporary and we know it, but somehow we tend to say that this is how it is, right? Or we also don't really look at the causes of why we're feeling overwhelmed, because we believe the overwhelm is coming from the children at home, or from the family situation at home, or from the bosses at work, or from whatever is going in terms of promotion, assignment to get the next one, um, or from the transitioning. We believe that our feelings of overwhelm coming from those things, from those situations, right? But if we are just ready to slow down, breathe in, feeling that overwhelm, and then have a look at all of that overwhelm is coming from our thoughts. And that's always a good news, because we don't need to control or change the world, or we don't need to change our behaviors of our children. We don't need to change the behavior of our bosses, or the future, or the transitioning. We just need to realize that all of this feeling is generated by our thoughts. And those thoughts are something like, it's too much, I can't handle it all, I don't know where to go, what to prioritize, a, um, a lot going on in my life. I don't think I'm being a good mother and a good worker, or whatever it is maybe coming up, right? Or I must do all these things and I don't have time or energy for it. Um, I should have been far ahead, but I'm not. I should have done this by now, but I'm not. I should know better, but I don't. Right? So all of these thoughts, and maybe you will have many more thoughts that overwhelm is coming from. So I suggest that if you want to really look at overwhelm and um, exterminate is the word coming up, but maybe another word is better, like eliminate. Yes, let's use eliminate. So you can see my brain is like wilding up on me with words. So if you want to eliminate overwhelm, then obviously we need to feel it, right? Whatever it is, because overwhelm could also mean that you're not allowing certain feelings to be there. But if it's too much for you, so let's just slow down and then have a look at all of these thoughts that are creating overwhelm. So write down all of those thoughts that you have, right? And then look at one by one and decide what you want to do. Because if you're really honest with yourself, you don't have to do anything. Even though many people have hard time with this idea, but think about it. You are doing those things because you're choosing to do, even though your brain probably in that moment forgets that this is how it is, right? So you're doing those things at work is because you're choosing, because you signed the contract, because you agreed to work there, because you applied, or whatever it is. So bring back the choice in some way, not in a punishing way of, oh, I have to do it now because I obviously signed it, this kind of energy. Don't do that to yourself, but just allow yourself to understand that you signed the contract because you wanted it, because you wanted to take care of your family, because you wanted to take care of yourself, because you thought at the time this is your choice and this is how you want to make things work, even though maybe you wanted something else. But in that moment, you decided this is what you want. So bring that choice back and say, and let your body understand that this is your choice. And another one to bring it to the equation is definitely that you're always in charge. Remind yourself, because your brain might be forgetting, like, if my brain, like your brain is like my brain also keeps forgetting that I'm in charge. I'm in charge of whatever the life I'm creating, whatever the situation I'm in. um, where I have a family and I have work commitments. All of these situations I have created it because I wanted to be in that situation, right? I wanted to be in charge of the children of my sister because I wanted to help them get to better education and all the other things. So I have taken that commitment to be in charge. So I don't want to be abandoning that commitment, or I don't want to be abdicating that responsibility. So therefore, overwhelm might be simply telling me that I'm actually in charge. I'm actually in a powerful situation, in a powerful place. I have all the power to be in charge and take the responsibility and make things differently, change things differently, right? So that's why um, remind your body, as I said, like breathe in into how am I in charge? What are the ways I'm in charge? What are the ways that I have created all of the things that I have in my life and how I want to be now doing things differently? What are the ways that I want to be focusing on only these things? What are the focuses that I can create now and drop everything else now? Right? So that's why it's so important that you bring that choice back, you bring that responsibility back, and you bring that power within you that you are the one who wants to get this result. You are the one who is working on it, and you are the one who will prioritize it, who focuses on it. And these are the things that you will not be focusing on it for now. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're a bad mom or whatever else that your brain wants to uh, like supplement the feeling of overwhelm already with other guilt feelings or whatever, right? So remove all of that and don't let your brain talk you into believing that you're not doing a good job here, you're not doing a good job there, because your brain might be simply hearing that you are overwhelmed, and your brain collects all the other data that's in the similar vein and then bringing it up to you like, okay, we may as well have all of this, right? So don't allow your brain to do that because your brain will be so good at generalizing things, at making things worse, or making things like, well, we may as well give up. Don't allow yourself to do that because what if overwhelm was simply telling you to slow down, to rest well, to focus on things you want to remind yourself that this is your choice, to allow yourself also not to be good at everything or not to be able to finish everything, but just delegate or ignore things and focus on the things that you want to focus on because you know how it contributes to whatever the result that you're aiming for, be it earning simply money or be it taking care of your family, be it getting that promotion, whatever it is, just focus on that. And it's okay that if you can't handle or you can't help everyone or you can't be everywhere or you uh, can't manage to get everything done. You're not supposed to. How about that? Right? What if you are not supposed to um, be handling it all, be in charge of, or be like in control of it all, right? What if we're not actually not in control of anything external except ourselves? Like whatever happens to our children or to the boss's behavior, to whether we get the promotion or not, what if we just can't control that and that's okay? And overwhelm is also the situation where we tend to go to wanting to control everything so that we don't feel the overwhelm. But that's actually counterproductive Because the more you try to control the outside world, the more you'll feel the overwhelm because you can't control the outside world. And the reason why you might be wanting to control the outside world is because you feel you want to be feeling something, right? You want to feel a relief. You want to feel everything's going to be fine. You want to feel calmness. You want to feel you're a good person. You want to feel whatever. And those feelings can be generated without controlling the outside world, I promise. And those feelings come from within. That calmness, that relief comes from your thoughts that you will be fine, that you will know how to take care of yourself. You know how to take care of your family. You know how to take care of all the pending issues because you've always been able to do that. Or if you haven't, you can always start from now. So, my dears, all of this I wanted to just show you or demonstrate to you that overwhelm can be an optional activity. And overwhelm is not actually trying to kill us or, I don't know, chase down and suffocate us or whatever. Overwhelm is telling you it's your body's message to you. Your body's knocking on your door and saying, we cannot continue doing this way. We need to change something. Let's find out what that is. This is what overwhelm is trying to do. And it's actually good because that also means that you have maybe forgotten to feel like you're in charge, or you have maybe forgotten to be in charge, to to realize that you're the powerful person who actually makes changes or makes priorities or chooses what to do and what not to do. So overwhelm is reminding you that you're actually a lot powerful than what you're giving yourself credit for. You are actually in charge. You are choosing to do things than you are giving yourself credit for. So take that credit, remind yourself, remind your body that you can handle whatever you're prioritizing and leave the rest. And let's not tell ourselves the stories of I have to, or I should have been, and I should have done better, or whatever. Let's not do all of those unnecessary suffering. It's not useful. And you've tried it already, I'm sure. So you've tried all of those things and it didn't work. So let's not keep using the things that don't work. I know I'm saying the obvious, but all I'm saying is I want you to live without overwhelm. I want you to live without feeling like you are a victim of your life or you're a victim of your situation. I want you to live the life feeling like you are in charge. You can achieve whatever you want to. You have all the freedom and tools necessary to get there. You just took the wrong turn sometimes, and that's okay because we all do. And then, thanks God, all of these feelings remind us that, wait a minute, we're actually cooler than what we're doing now, or we're actually more powerful than what we're believing to be true now. So let's go back to being that powerful person who knows what to do and how to take care of things. Okay, my dears, thank you so much for being with me in this 20 or so minutes. I'm so, so thankful for you accompanying me in this journey and listening to me, tuning to me. I just wanted to say that today I'm experiencing a very large amount of gratitude. So maybe one of the benefits of sleep deprivation, when you do amazing things and you are sleep deprived, maybe one of them is to feel this gratefulness or to feel this gratitude for all the things that's going amazing. Thank you. Talk to you next